Hey, so I realized that I am not super quick at video editing, so I'm going to create some shorter videos on topics that take a little bit less time to address than misidentification for the in-between. To me, that obvious topic is the difference between wings. So these videos should normally be around the 3-minute mark. I tried to do it in a minute, but that is just not doable with giving you any sort of value of information. So around the 3-minute mark, and this one I'm going to do the differences between the wings of one. So I actually happen to have a lot of ones in my life. I would say besides motivations, which is of course the most important place to start, I would say some of the more overt visual differences between one with a 2-wing and one with a 9-wing are that ones with 2 wings tend to be a little bit more people-oriented and a little bit more extroverted. Because of that, 2 need to be valued for what they do for other people. And that's for 2 reasons. One of the reasons is that Enneagram 1 reason of I'm making things right and good. The second reason is that Enneagram 2 reason of I'm going to be loved because I'm loving other people and putting them before myself. This is, of course, in average health. And we look at that kind of as the anger of 1 paired with the pride of 2. And I sometimes think of that as perfectionism and pride. And 1-wing 9, on the other hand, tends to be a little bit more withdrawn. Not so much people-oriented, more in their head, if you will. We might even say, with the Myers-Briggs term, they're a little more intuitive. 9s tend to be a lot more, or a little bit more earthy and spiritual people. So 1 with a 9-wing is a little more airy feeling. And by that I mean, it's the same experience I have when I meet a 9, where you almost feel like they're not completely there, like you should be able to put your hand through them. I know that sounds strange, but that's what I mean by airy, or a little aloof. And of course this comes from that apathetic piece. So 1 with a 9-wing is more anger and apathy, which is a little slower to boil over with the anger than a 1 with a 2-wing would be. So a 1 with a 9-wing probably has a little bit more trouble getting started towards these visionary types of causes that 1s tend to focus on. Of course, many times you read that 1s feel like that they have a cause, or they feel like they have a mission in life. And I think that not that that 1s with 9 wings can't do this, because of course in health, when they integrate, they're like just as capable as any other type in integration to achieve action. But I think 1 with a 2-wing is a little bit more prone, even in their dark side, towards doing. So 1 with a 9-wing, because of that apathy side, is going to have a little bit more of that sloth piece, a little bit more of the not so much of a self-starter as a 1 with a 2-wing. I think also the anger of a 1 with a 2-wing is a little bit more apparent than a 1 with a 9-wing. We could look at 2 and 9 and say that both of those types are prone towards passive aggression and passivity in general, and they are. But a 2 tends to be a little bit more verbal about it. A 9 tends to be more reserved and more stubborn, allowing the anger to come out through stubbornness, as we've talked about in some of the videos that have touched on 9. But 2, on the other hand, has that pride piece of I am owed love, or I think when it's mixed with 1, sometimes I am owed balance or justice. Yeah, so those are some of the main differences sort of experientially about the wings of 1.